Right now, there's a secret field holding over 100,000 brand new, unsold electric cars. They're rotting, abandoned, and the reason why involves a billion-dollar international scam that completely changes how you should look at buying an electric car today. This is the story of how $230 billion in government subsidies created the largest automotive graveyards the world has ever seen, stretching from the outskirts of Hangzhou, China, to the factory lots of Germany, and even to an overgrown field in Tampa, Florida. On the outskirts of Hangzhou, a small dilapidated temple overlooks a graveyard of sorts, with row after row of electric vehicles, hundreds upon hundreds of them, abandoned among weeds and garbage. Some have been sitting so long that plants are literally sprouting from their trunks. BAIC BJAV EC3s, Geely Candy K10s, BYD E3s, Nida Vises. These aren't prototypes. They aren't totaled wrecks. Many still look nearly new. Similar pools of unwanted electric vehicles have appeared in at least half a dozen cities across China. A Shenzhen-based photographer named Wu Guoyong was one of the first to document the scale of this waste. In 2019, he launched his drone over empty lots around Hangzhou and Nanjing, capturing footage of thousands of electric cars lined up in neat, abandoned rows. As Wu put it, the shared bikes and electric vehicle graveyards are a result of unconstrained capitalism. The waste of resources, the damage to the environment, the vanishing wealth, it's a natural consequence. He mentioned bikes for a reason, because the EV graveyards are actually chapter 2 of an almost identical disaster. Between 2016 and 2017, China experienced a bike-sharing explosion. In just over 2 years, more than 70 shared bicycle companies launched, raised over $10 billion in financing, and dropped roughly 27 million shared bicycles onto the streets of major Chinese cities. Then, almost overnight, the bubble burst. Companies folded, and those 27 million bikes had to go somewhere. They ended up in mountains, literal mountains of twisted metal and rubber, piled in vacant lots across more than 20 cities. The cleanup costs fell entirely on taxpayers and local governments. Now replace bicycles with cars, and you have the EV graveyard crisis. In 2016, an electric bike-sharing bubble was rapidly copied by companies offering short-range electric vehicle rentals, each one trying to become the Chinese Uber. But just like ride-sharing startups in the United States, these ventures were far more expensive to operate than bike-sharing. The costs got passed to customers, who could rent a bike, ride the subway, or even take a taxi for less. The companies went bust, and their fleets of electric vehicles were simply left behind. But failed ride-sharing is only half the story. The other half involves outright fraud. Starting in 2009, China launched an aggressive subsidy program to build a domestic electric vehicle industry from scratch. That year, fewer than 500 electric vehicles were sold in the entire country. The government offered manufacturers rebates of up to 500,000 yuan, roughly $76,000 per electric bus, and 50,000 yuan per car. By 2015, the government was spending 33.4 billion yuan, about $5 billion, on electric vehicle subsidies every single year. The money was enormous and the oversight was thin. What happened next was predictable. In 2016, China's Ministry of Finance investigated 93 electric vehicle companies, and a staggering 72 of them were caught up in subsidy fraud. Manufacturers were selling vehicles to themselves, creating shell transactions to claim government money for cars that never reached a single consumer. The official People's Daily reported that dozens of companies had fraudulently claimed more than 9.3 billion yuan, approximately $1.3 billion in subsidies. The biggest fraud recipient was King Long United Automotive Industry, which collected 520 million yuan, about $80 million, in fraudulent claims. King Long's chief executive later took his own life after news reports exposed the scheme. 7 companies were formally penalized, including Chongqing Lifan Passenger Vehicle, Shanghai Sunwin Bus, and China Youngman Automobile Group. But the systemic problem ran far deeper than a handful of bad actors. And here's what makes this story truly staggering. The fraud didn't stop. It evolved. By 2025, a new scandal had emerged, and it is called the zero-mileage used car scam. These are brand new vehicles that get registered, plated, and then immediately listed on used car markets. Never driven, not a single kilometer. The scheme lets automakers and dealers report inflated sales numbers, claim subsidies, and quietly dump unsold inventory at reduced prices. According to dealer and buyer reports, NIDA alone manipulated figures for over 60,000 vehicles this way, and auto firms and officials in 20 provinces have been caught doing the same thing. Great Wall Motor chairman Wei Jianjun compared the zero-mileage scandal to China's notorious property bubble and the Evergrande collapse. Think about what that means. One of China's own major automakers is drawing a direct line between the EV industry's fake sales practices and the financial catastrophe that nearly brought down the Chinese economy. And this isn't just a Chinese phenomenon anymore. In Germany, automotive researcher Werner Ohle discovered approximately 100,000 electric cars temporarily parked in lots near factories, dealerships, and ports. Brand new Volkswagens, Audis, and imported models sitting unsold. One logistics worker told the German newspaper Bild, "I have never encountered something like this before, although I have been working here for more than 10 years. Cars are only brought in, but almost no one leaves on them." The cause in Germany was different but equally abrupt. In December 2023, the government suddenly ended its electric vehicle subsidy of up to €9,000 per vehicle, and demand collapsed virtually overnight. In the first quarter of 2024, German electric vehicle sales dropped 14.1% compared to the same period the year before. It's wild how quickly a multi-billion-dollar market evaporates the moment artificial demand is removed. If this breakdown is opening your eyes to how the auto industry actually works behind closed doors, drop a like on the video. It really helps push these investigations to a wider audience. Even in the United States, hundreds of refreshed Tesla Model 3s turned up sitting in an overgrown field near the Tesla Service Center in Tampa, Florida. Built in April and May of 2024, those vehicles ended up in that field because Tesla simply ran out of storage space at its main facilities. Now here's the deeper problem these graveyards reveal. China's built-up EV production capacity has surpassed 20 million units annually, but domestic sales in 2024 reached only 12.89 million. That's a capacity utilization rate of just 64.5%. Some analysts put the broader figures even starker, 55.6 million units of production capacity against only 27.6 million actual sales. The Chinese government has its own word for this kind of destructive overcompetition, neijuan, meaning pointless self-destruction through extreme competition. Average EV prices have fallen 21% since 2021. The result is an industry where, as of mid-2025, only 3 Chinese EV companies are actually profitable: BYD, Li Auto, and Aito. Nearly a quarter of all industrial firms in China are now loss-making, the highest share since 2001. So what does all of this mean if you're actually shopping for an electric car? Ironically, the global oversupply and price wars have made electric vehicles under $40,000 better values than ever before. The 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6 delivers an EPA estimated 361 miles of range. The Chevrolet Equinox electric vehicle manages 319 miles. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 remains one of the most compelling packages on the market, offering 318 miles of range in its SEL trim. Today's best electric cars under $40,000 offer more range, more features, and more reliability than many of the subsidized vehicles now sitting abandoned across 3 continents. They are evidence that $230 billion in subsidies, unchecked fraud, and reckless overproduction built an industry on financial engineering rather than actual demand. As the consolidation accelerates, analysts predict that only a fraction of China's roughly 130 electric vehicle manufacturers will survive into the next decade. The cars rotting in those fields were never meant to be driven, they were meant to be counted. If you want to make sure your next vehicle does not end up as a ghost corporate statistic, do your homework before buying. Let me know in the comments below, would you ever risk buying one of those zero-mileage used imports? Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more stories like this, and we'll see you in the next one.